Welcome, Panther Nation football fans, to another edition of Growlin' and Prowlin'. I am, of course, Mr. CeeLo, talking all things Carolina Panthers, from the postseason to the Super Bowl to the offseason, to the draft, OTAs, preseason, and the regular season. Let the growlin' begin. Welcome back, Irish Nation. Glad you could join us here on another edition of Growlin' and Prowlin'. So, well, if you guys have been paying attention, you already know what the big news in the NFL today has been about. It's been about the injury to Aaron Rodgers, and we have had very little press time about our injury news. And right now, we're dealing with our top-notch corner, J.C. Horn. Once again, he goes down with an injury. And as you guys know, I am one that believes that J.C. Horn is one of the most important players on our defense. As it was shown Sunday, Atlanta was very incapable of moving the football in the air. And I'm a firm believer that J.C. Horn is a big part of that. If not the most important part, maybe next to the Jeremy Chinn big nickel part of it. But he ended up pulling a hamstring. Well, they don't know what the extent of the tear is, if you will. And injuries like this can take anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks, as we saw with the Christian McCaffrey deal. And they're very delicate situations. I mean, you could go several weeks with feeling nothing, and then the minute you go and you try to open up and try to really go, you aggravate it again. It's just a really delicate situation and a very unfortunate situation for J.C. Horn, because it just seems like he just keeps getting these injuries that are not really his fault. And I mean, I really feel bad for him. And with a coaching staff and a general manager that seemingly is ready to move on at a click. And I also feel like we have a fan base that is ready to do that. But I think that we had a good week against Atlanta in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of people look at it and say we got drubbed. I don't think so. I think we had a really competitive game against the Falcons. I just think what ended up happening is that rookie Bryce Young made 2 mistakes that really, you look at the Atlanta Falcons, Jesse Bates, and he, in other words, baited him. And he made the mistake, and here we are right now. The Atlanta Falcons have a win, and the Panthers do not. But as I said with J.C. Horn, I think that injury is what was the biggest loss in this game. And we do have C.J. Henderson. Troy Hill had a very good game. I think Troy Hill is going to be a great fit for what we need to do, but of course I honestly think they're going to continue to use Jeremy Chinn in that big nickel situation, and we're going to need it because we got the Saints coming up this week. But lastly, we hope JC has a recovery and we can get him back minimum of 4 weeks. So I would imagine we would see the IR tag placed on him so that he can go ahead and get at least the first 4 weeks out of his system. And because hamstrings could go from, like I said, 2 weeks to 2 weeks to 8 weeks. And you don't want to rush that back. You would rather have him miss 6, 7, 8 games and finish 9 games than to rush him back in week 4 or week 3 and he doesn't come back for the rest of the season. So with that being said, we're gonna get ready to close this out, guys. Prayers for you, JC. Do what you do, buddy. Try to rehab that. Do what you need to do. And last thing, Scott Fitterer. I don't think you need to be worried about trying to shop J.C. Horn. You need to be trying to wrap a deal up with Brian Burns. You need to be wrapping it up. Pro bono. He showed what he can do. Pay the man. Till the next time, Panther Nation, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.